What's going on, guys? Ida here. We are now in Division 7 on the FIFA 17 10-10 challenge, and we are going to go straight into a game. As you can see, we have the team that we lined up for before. I did have a look at some players that I could have switched in and out. Could have made a pretty much a full Bundesliga team, but it would have been 3 at the back, and I prefer doing the 4-4-2 at the moment. When it gets into sort of the more difficult games, I may change it up a bit because it probably won't win as many, but at the moment the 4-4-2 is working well, and we'll see how we go. So we're going to go straight into a game. Alright, this person's team is a Premier League team. He has Butland. Everyone seems to have Butland. Zabaleta, Matip, Schneiderlin. He's got Fabregas, Lallana, Cazorla, Eric Bailly, Azpilicueta, and then Jesus and Remy up front. It's pretty much a standard Premier League team. Let's see how our mishmatch of a team gets on against it. This is obvious. Well, as we've seen, this is our first game in Division 7. I'm expecting a step up in the quality, so we may have difficulty playing in this league or division. I always call it the leagues. I mean, it basically is a league, isn't it? It's just our own personal league in our own game. Oh, Rigi couldn't catch hold of it. I'm hoping that with Oblak in goal, we will not let in as many shots, but the goalkeeper isn't that important in this, I find, because most goals are sort of scored from somebody dribbling through and they're just sort of clean through. So, we'll see. But we do have a different defence, so it may take a little while to... Oh, I was trying to get that up to Sane, but he didn't get it on. Something I did want to talk about today was the sort of how much importance is put on a player's contract. I was just looking on BBC News, and obviously a player that's done fantastic recently, especially in that Barcelona game, is Dybala, or Dybala. Some people have called him, I've heard. He signed an extension on his contract. It's probably not just an extension, it's probably more wages as well. But it always makes people feel like that player is going to stick around and, you know, be somebody that's, you know, going to stay at their club for a long time because they've got a new contract. But, oh, Origi couldn't catch it well. All I think is it's just basically like a smokescreen, especially for young, sick players like Dybala. It's just like a, come on, mate, skip the thing. It just seems like it's a smokescreen for clubs that probably know they're going to lose a player. It's just a way for them to get more money for that player. I'm not blaming them for it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it's sort of disingenuous. It's not, you know, it's not really what's going on. You know, it's just sort of lying to, you know, saying, oh, this player's got the extension, it means they're probably going to stay. Nah, it doesn't mean they're going to stay. You look at, with Arsenal, I was going to speak about it in the last episode, but the players that they have, they were saying that, oh, they're going to stay, they're going to sign a new contract or whatever. I think it happened with Thierry Henry the season after they got to the season where they got to the Champions League final against Barcelona, and they... Henry, I think they said Henry wasn't going to leave. He signed a new contract and then he left in the summer. And then I think the same happened with Nasri. They said he wasn't going to leave, and then he signed a new contract and he left. You could say the same for a lot of players. A lot of players have done it in the history of football. They've had, goalkeeper's going to get it. They've signed that new contract, but then they've you know, they've left the club or been sold. And it's literally all it is if I'm a player, let's just say it was me, if I'm on 100 grand a week and I've got 2 years left on my deal, 2 years on 100 grand a week isn't gonna make a club want to sign me for a lot of money because my contract isn't large. That's a great tackle. I was going to say that was a foul, but it wasn't. They're not going to want to spend a lot of money because the whole point of like the transfer fee is sort of what they think a player's like and how much money they're worth and how much their contract is, because that's, you know, you sort of buy out a person's contract as part of that, you know, the sort of figure that the club is going to buy you for is that figure of how much your contract is, because that's how much money they're probably going to spend on you. You know, if you are on 100 grand a week, that's what, 5 million ish, give or take, 5.2 million, and then you've got tax and obviously that. But say that's basically your contract is worth 10 million. Let's say to the club that I'm playing for, they want 35 million for me. Now what I'm going to say is, well, I want a 3.5-year deal, 4-year deal, because that's how much you think I'm worth. So therefore, that's how much you should be paying me. That's how much my contract should be worth. And when the player gets sold, obviously that's pretty much how much they're going to get sold for, unless the club that they're being sold to, that is a nice finish from Aspas. Should be more ahead than this. I've had plenty of chances, but yeah, the buying club, sort of the only power they have is to say how much they're willing to sort of pay. The selling club has the power because they can just be like, well, you're not getting this player unless you pay us X amount of money. Now, you've got to obviously factor in players like Martial for Man U, where he's got quite a few different sort of clauses. I forgot the word then. He's got a few different clauses. Oh, okay, that wasn't good. He's got a few different clauses in his contract. So, like, if he scores, I don't know what the exact clauses are, but let's say he scores 50 goals, then Man United have to pay another 10 million or whatever. But if you think about it, if those 50 goals to go towards Man United winning the Premier League, they've got, you know, their winnings on the Premier League and how much more money they're going to earn is a crap ton. And so they don't mind having that clause in, because if the player does score 50 goals for them, you know, in a short space of time, then they're going to be like, well, we've got an amazing striker that's getting us, that's scored us 50 goals in whatever, let's say 70 games. Let's say he's done like a really good run and he scored 50 goals in 70 games. You know, they'll be happy with that because they've got a great striker and they're not having to go out looking for somebody to replace him if he doesn't do very well. And if he doesn't do very well, then they can just, they can sell him and they're not going to be spending the same amount of money because the clause hasn't been used because, the player hasn't performed as well. And so in that instance, it's quite good for the buying club because they can structure a deal how they want. Nice or black, that's the first thing you've really had to do in this game. He's done it well. Ah, Pedro. Okay, that was interesting. He obviously went for a slide tackle there and he won the ball. So he hoofed it back. Oh, come on. So close. Oh. It's not even an important game, this, because it's the first game in Division 7, and I'm still holding my breath. Need to stop doing that. Need to actually breathe. It might help me concentrate in the game. Oh, he's nearly slid through. Oh, come on. Iaremende. That can't be a yellow card. Really? A yellow card? I almost got the ball. That's not fair. Okay. Come on, Oblak. Just clear it. Good. Well done. I don't know what happened there. It just went straight through. Maybe he did my tactic of chip through ball. Chip through ball works all the time. Well, this is difficult. Well, this attack got a bit of menace to it. Sane, come on. Oh, that is very close. Oh, yeah, he's got the Liverpool away kit. I was like, why have they got Liverpool kits on? I thought that was a good corner then. Clearly not. Stay with him, defender. All right, now you step in. There we go. Good. He's pushed it back. Can I go get him again? Ooh. Stepped in again. Play it down the line. Nope. Players' contracts, though. It's something where, as well, what you have to factor in is what an agent is going to try and get for their player as well. Because if I'm an agent of a player that is on the, the scenario of 100 grand a week and 2 years left, I'm going to be like, do you want to keep my player? If you do, you either need to give him an extension or you need to give him more money. And that probably will, coincide with an extension, because you're not just going to give somebody more money and leave the contract at 2 years left, because a lot of clubs will think 2 years is nothing really, and it's not, because it's quite easy to run down that 2 years, because that's something as well that was with Alexis Sanchez's contract. They were saying that they don't need to worry about him because he's got 18 months on his contract. Well, in reality, the 18 months is more like 12 months because nobody can buy him at the moment, and so the next time that somebody can buy him is the summer, which means that they've only got one transfer window before he's able to leave as a free transfer and negotiate contracts, because obviously he'll have 6 months left on his contract. So that 18 months, whilst it's the length of the contract, it's not really, because that's not how the transfer window system works. If it was how it used to be, where there was no transfer window and it was just you could sign whoever you wanted, when you wanted, then yeah, fair enough. He has got exactly 18 months on his contract. But again, that's not how it works. And they need to look at that and decide for themselves whether they want to try and keep that player there or not, and whether they're going to give him the money that he wants. But again, that depends how much they think he's worth to them. If they've got somebody lined up in the summer that they want to buy that's, that's cheaper, that maybe they think can be as good as, oh, okay, that's not where I want it to go to Pedro. Whether they think he could be as good as Sanchez is another issue. Maybe they think they've got somebody younger that they can bring in for the similar amount of money that they're looking to maybe cash in on Sanchez. But again, if his contract is lower, then he's going to leave for less. If he's got a year left on his contract, I'm going to say to them, like, yeah, he might be worth that to you, but give me 6 months. I'm going to negotiate a contract with him and not have to pay you any money. So do you want to sell him now and I'll pay you some money for him? Or do you want to wait? Because I know what the player will want to do if he wants to leave. If you're not giving him that contract, he's going to leave on a free and get more money. Because that's what Ibrahimovic has been able to do at Man United. That's why his contract's so large, because they got him for free. So they're able to pay him what he wanted. Off the post! Oh, I thought that was a goal. I wanted that switch of play. It was a great pass from Pedro out to... I think it was Pedro. It might have been the left back. I can't remember what his name is, because he's new. I thought that was in. I thought that was in. Oh, right. What you got to do, drag him in and then send him down the line with less power on the throw-in. Give him the free kick. Give him the free kick. There we go. Who's getting the yellow card? Oh, Sane. All right. Mr. Not look like Sane at all, Sane. Get it away. There we are. All right, Aspas, chase it. One thing I wish I could do is get Perotti in the game a bit more, because he is a decent striker. I feel like I can use him better than I can Aspas. Although saying that, I've got quite a few goals with Aspas. So, we'll see. See what we can get in the next lot of packs, whenever that may be. Because obviously it's either 10 games, which is the season, or if we get promoted. So if we're getting relegated, we can't get packs. We have to wait for the 10 games. So that's something that we have to factor in. There we are. Back out. Ah, nearly worked. He's offside, isn't he? Sane kills it. Off the bar! I've hit the post and the bar. Oh. Come on. Little dink. Oh, yes. That deserves a dab. Oh, that was offside. Oh, why did they let me get that far into the celebration? Oh, I thought that was a goal. Oh. I thought that was a goal. That was a sick goal. Right, let's try again. Oops. Oh well, got it. All right, that is a win. First one in Division 7. And in reality, that could have been a goal. The Origi one was just offside. I thought that was a goal. I celebrate like it was. I'm disappointed that that wasn't, but got the win. That's all that matters. We got 3 points. As you can see, we now have to get 14. And if we don't want to get relegated, we've got to get 8. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Got to win a lot more games, though. We've got 9 games remaining in the league. That's our first game done in Division 7, and that was a win. So, thanks for watching, and peace.